Hi everyone, this is Erin from MCP Actions. Today I'm going to show you how to install and use our inspiration presets for Lightroom. Inspiration is based on the action set for Photoshop called Inspire. You'll find it to be very similar in the same spirit of Inspire, but because we're working in Lightroom, we won't get results that are exactly identical. Going to begin this video by showing you how to install your presets. Your first step will be to download those presets from our website onto your computer. You can do that after purchase by downloading directly from your account on our website or by clicking the link to download in your emailed receipt that you will receive. Once you download those presets, look for the location on your computer where your downloads go. In most cases, this will be a folder called Downloads, but depending on the way that you've configured your computer, this might be different. So once you've located this zipped download on your computer, you will unzip it or extract it. This is another thing that might differ from computer to computer. For me, I simply double-click on the file to unzip it. You might need to right-click and look for something that says extract or unzip, or you might have separate unzipping software installed on your computer. Once you unzip this file, you'll see inside it two separate folders that contain the presets. So the develop presets, which are our global presets, as well as our local presets. You'll also see three PDFs, one of which is how to install and use Inspiration in general. The other is how to use the Inspiration local presets, and then our terms of service. Before installing, it's important that you copy this folder and paste it in a location that you back up. So you might want to copy and paste it into your documents file or your photos file, any location on your hard drive that is normally backed up. This ensures that if your computer crashes, you will be able to recover your Inspiration presets. So in most cases, to copy and paste, you will simply highlight by clicking on the folder, go to Edit and select Copy, and then navigate to your location where you'd like to store these presets and go to Edit and Paste. Now, in order to install the presets, you are going to go to Lightroom. You are going to open your preferences. Now, if you're on a PC, you'll find preferences on your Edit menu, but on Macs, you'll find it right here on the Lightroom menu. Go to your second tab over from the left called Presets, and take a minute to think about this location checkbox. If you've ever installed presets before into Lightroom, you're going to want this checkbox to be the same as the last time you installed. If you haven't installed presets before, leave this unchecked. If you find that after you've installed your Inspiration presets, you can no longer see other presets that you have installed, that means you selected the wrong option here. So you need to reinstall those Inspiration presets with the opposite setting for this checkbox. Next, you'll want to click on Show Lightroom Presets folder, and your Finder or Explorer will open to this Lightroom folder, and then you'll want to open the Develop Presets folder. Now, if you've never installed presets before, you're only going to see this User Presets folder inside, or maybe nothing at all. Otherwise, you should see all the other presets that you've installed before. So I'm going to go back to my download here. So I am going to select and copy all of the folders inside Develop Presets. To do that, I am going to click on the first folder, hold down the Shift key, and click on the last folder. They're all selected, and I can go to the Edit menu to select Copy. Now, returning to my Lightroom Develop Presets folder, I'm going to go to Edit and select Paste. And you can see that all of those folders are now inside Develop Presets. Next, within this Lightroom folder, I'm going to go to my Local Adjustments presets. Now, you might have lots of presets in here, or you might not have any. Returning to my downloaded folder, I'm going to open the Local Adjustments presets, and copy the presets inside it using the same click, shift, click method. Now note that we are not copying this folder. We are copying the individual presets inside. If you copy the folder, your installation won't work. Again, I'm going to go to Edit Copy. I'm going to return to this local adjustment presets folder and go to Edit Paste. And now in order to access my presets, I need to restart Lightroom. So I'll select Quit here. That would be Exit on a PC. And I will restart my software. Okay, so now that Lightroom has opened, I'll show you how to use these presets. First off, note that I'm in the Develop module. And then to locate your new presets, you're going to go to this Presets panel over here on the left side of your Develop module. You can click on the word Presets to expand it, and then scroll down until you see your new inspiration folders. So you'll have Inspiration 1, Correct, all the way through Inspiration Build a Look 7. To apply any preset, you'll simply open the folder and click on the preset you'd like to use. Now for your local presets, you will find them by clicking on the local adjustment brush, and on the effect menu, you will click and drag down until you see the group of inspiration presets. To show you how to use these presets, I'm going to give you options for editing 3 photos. This first one is by MCP customer and tester Aubrey Ann. Now the way inspiration works is that you've got these first 8 folders, which are the base presets in inspiration. Folder number 1 gives you your white balance and exposure options. Number 2 gives you your color edits, including the brilliant bases. Number 3 is the same, except that it's your black and white looks. Number 4, we've got mood rings, which are different types of color overlays, hazes, and blurs. Number 5 is color tricks, where you can pop various specific colors in your image. We have vignettes. We have polishes, which kind of help you tweak the last little things that you need to perfect your photo, like highlights or shadows. And finally, we've got custom sunshine effects. In general, you can run presets from any of these sections in any order that you want. There will be a few exceptions to this, which we'll cover shortly. For me, it's best to start with the brilliant color bases. These bases are meant to give a good starting edit to most photos. You'll have 5 options from the mildest to the strongest. This photo just needs the mildest. You'll see that it adds a little bit of contrast and color pop and helps with the shadows as well. Now this photo has some deep shadows in the background. So I'm going to scroll down to our polish section, and I am going to click on Brighten Shadows Light. Note that some of these names are hard to read because they're getting cut off here. You can click and drag to expand your preset panel to make it wider. I'm also going to apply the Highlight Tamer Light to this image. So far we've applied just 2 presets. Note that within each folder you have some informational lines, which are not working presets. They begin with the word info, and they give you instructions or suggestions for how to best use the presets. You also have sections, which are in all caps, and these help you differentiate the different groups of presets. Within each section, there is a reset that you can use to turn off just that preset. And within each folder, there is a reset that allows you to turn off all the work that you've done within that folder. Now within that section, you can only use 1 preset within any given section. For instance, if I wanted to apply the beaming preset to this photo, that's what I'd get. And that's a great simple edit for this image. If I wanted to go to bittersweet, on the other hand, because bittersweet and beaming are in the same section, I can only choose one. So I'm not adding beaming to bittersweet. I am actually replacing beaming with bittersweet. So the last preset that you apply is the one that's going to be visible on your photo. So this photo was great straight out of camera, and really it just needs a few presets to give it that polish that you need. So beaming and bittersweet were both great. I like plum perfect too. Gives you kind of a darker and different look, but still just as fun. Others that we could use would be enchanted rainforest. Really plays up the greens and blues nicely. Rose petals makes it a little softer and pinker. Spunky is great also, and again really is nice with the greens and the yellows. And then finally Vitality is one that I like for this image. Vitality darkens the edges a bit more than some of them. So you can see that this image really only needed about 3 clicks to get any number of good looks. Now moving on to this adorable picture from Stephanie Black, who is another MCP customer. We are going to edit this using both the global develop presets as well as the local adjustment brushes. So for this one, I am going to go back up to inspiration number 1, correct. I want to make sure that my navigator panel is visible up here, because I think that this image needs a white balance adjustment, but I'm not sure what it needs. So when I get down to my white balance presets, notice that I can hover over each one and get a preview of the white balance that will be applied to my photo. And actually just looking at these presets, I think that auto is great. So I'm going to select that. I can collapse the navigator now to allow me to see my presets better. I don't need any exposure adjustments with this photo. I'm fine with it just as it is. Now for this image, I like Brilliant Color Base 1 again. With the baby, we just need a subtle edit. And then I'm going to apply Vitality. Vitality brightens up the photo nicely. Going down to the mood rings, I'm going to select Loving Pink. I'd also like a vignette for this image. So I am going to apply just the light vignette. Now a couple of things to notice about the vignettes. First off, they use Lightroom's radial filter, which is only available in Lightroom 5 and up. So if you're using this with Lightroom 4, you won't be able to use these vignettes. Also, remember that I mentioned that in most cases, you could use your presets in any order that you wanted to. If we're using a preset that's built on the radial filter, you can only apply 1 per image. Same goes for the graduated filter. Also, if you're going to do additional work with the radial filter, you'll need to apply this develop preset first. There's more information on this in the how to use presets that came in your download. Now to finish up this edit, I am going to activate my local adjustment brush. Pulling down the effect drop-down menu, I'm going to go to my inspiration presets. And note that inspiration brushes have 2 sections. So this first one that ends in the hyphens, this is a section header. It's not a working preset. These presets in this section work well with our build a look presets, which we'll talk about shortly. The general brushes section works well with any photo that you can edit. You can certainly apply these to any photos as well, regardless of the global presets that you apply. However, they are built specifically to enhance the build a looks. So I'm going to start by using our color pop brush, and I am just going to paint that over the baby's hat. Note that I do have auto mask turned on so that I don't paint out of the lines or paint out of the color area. And then I am going to add a new brush, so it's important to click that new button when you change areas that you're going to edit. And I am going to select the Precision Sharp. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to baby's eyes and then brush right over those eyes with the Precision Sharp brush. And then I'll zoom out again. And so here is a before and after on this image. Now let's try a black and white look on this photo. Going back up to our black and white folder, going to open that, And note here that it says click to reset before using your black and whites. That's because we need to clean off any color tints that have been added by prior presets. And so I will add Brilliant Black and White Base number 1. And then for my looks, I really like Chic for this image. And then scrolling down one more time to apply sharpening to the image. I can apply sharpening strong to this one. Now you should know when running black and white presets that even though we do reset the image to begin, your local adjustments are not reset. So that means that we still have the sharpening applied to baby's eyes and don't need to redo that. Now let's move to this last photo, which is by Amy Short, another MCP user. For this image, I like Brilliant Base number 2. And I like the light yellow feeling that lemon sorbet adds. I'm going to add a dark vignette to it, so I'm going to scroll down here to our vignettes and add the dark vignette. I'm going to add a little bit of custom sunshine. So I'm going to add a vertical sunbeam. In order to edit that sunbeam, we're going to turn on the radial filter. We're going to click on this radial filter to activate it for editing. And then we're going to move this over right here to make this lighter area in the background really feel like the sun shining down through a break in the trees. Finally, I am going to add gem polish as the preset for her eyes to sharpen those eyes just a little bit. So there's one possible edit for this photo. Another one is that we could convert it to black and white. And again, we will need to reset the photo. Note that that doesn't reset my sunbeam. My sunbeam is still there. I'm going to use Brilliant Base Black and White number 2. I like the brushed metal look. And then going down to mood rings, I am going to add just a simple cream toning to the photo, just to add a tiny bit of warmth to it. And again, her eyes are still sharp, so I don't need to resharpen them. Finally, I am going to reset everything I've done in this image so that I can show you how our build-a-looks work. Now, the build-a-looks in Photoshop are actions that are supposed to be kind of all-encompassing edits designed to give you very specific looks. So we've replicated them in Lightroom using a combination of developed presets and local presets. So I'm going to start with Fantasyland. So when you open one of our build-a-looks, you'll see that you've got instructions to reset, information to choose one from each section. You've got section resets. You have got information pointing you to specific brushes to use. And then you've got reset all. Now it's important to know that when you're using these build-a-look presets, even when you stack up your developed presets and then add your local adjustments, even though we're suggesting that you use these specific brushes, you can use any brushes you want to, but also note that this reset is not going to undo the work of the brushes. So if you need to reset those, you will have to do that by activating the local adjustment brush. And again, we do have more information on resetting those brushes in the PDF that came with your download. So for this particular image, I am going to start with Cotton Candy Light. And as you'd expect from the name, this gives our image kind of a light and pink look. I'm going to add the Color Twist Light, which is a subtle play on the colors in the image. And then I'll add Fantasyland Medium, which makes this a bit more pink. Scrolling down, I'll add a little contrast using our Fantasy Contrast. And then reading these informational presets, line number 23 says the paint on effects that work with this build-a-look are below, and it's referring me to brush number 7 and 8. So when I activate my local adjustment brush, I'll go to Inspirations 7 and 8, and I'm going to select this Add Blur brush. I'm going to make it a bit larger by using my left-facing square bracket key, and I am just going to soften these rocks on the far left, just to add a little bit of additional blur to the image. I'll hit New, and then grab the color brush, the Color Pop brush, making my brush smaller using that right-facing square bracket key. I will bring out the color in her headband, her irises, and then the embellishments on her blouse as well. And so here's a before on this image and the edit that we're currently at. So this video has showed you how to install and use the inspiration presets from MCP Actions. If you have any questions at all, visit our website. Thanks so much for watching.